And
Hey!
video is live. Okay, let's get rid of that here real quick.
Here we are,
Okay.
yet again. Yet
Welcome.
again.
Welcome, people of the internet, to another weekend with these two assholes.
These two, your favorite Richards, are
the
back at it
the thing about this is
yet
you
again.
choose to listen to us. We don't force you.
No.
You
No.
ready?
Oh.
Oh, I wanted to mention about my
Right.
I've got my Tom Peterson mug today that I got when my grandfather passed away. I got it from his stuff. So here we go.
And
Let's go ahead. Oh,
and Gloria's too.
and Gloria's too. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
Boom! Yeah.
That is one of the funnest things I think we we kind of meme about on here is the explosion with the cheers.
I love it too.
I'm
Let's
gonna push
roll that shit.
I'm gonna push the button.
Yep.
I told you it was only gonna be 1 week.
Right. I'm glad. Good.
But speaking of gay things,
Oh boy.
Nickelodeon is back at it again. What is the demographic of actually Nickelodeon?
Probably 1 to 15.
I'm gonna spell this wrong. Let's see here. God damn it. Is 2 to 15 years old.
Ooh. Ooh. Who
You
was
are
right?
almost right on the money.
I
Why did
didn't
that
even
go
go
into-
over.
Why'd that even go into whatever? It doesn't matter. But they have this video. It's the Meaning of Pride featuring drag queen Nina West. And I think she might have been the same drag queen that was featured in the Blue's Clues episode. There's a few interesting things that's going on this page, but we're gonna get to that. Actually, we'll talk about it right now. If you notice, the like to dislike ratio has been disabled,
Yeah, right.
and the comments have been disabled. In fact, I kind of want to look through this. Let's look at one of their more recent videos. We can go to all of their comments are disabled.
But the likes.
But the likes
aren't.
but the likes to dislike aren't, which means that this video possibly or probably got ratioed to hell. Which means that the dislike to like ratio is way out of whack. Okay, I got to do a thing where I'm gonna change your audio so you can hear this, because like we're professionals here.
Yes. Extreme.
Okay, you can still hear me sort of, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put that back up once we get this going for a little bit. Okay, I have that pulled up. Yes, there. You ready to go? Here we go.
It's Pride, everybody! Every color on the Pride flag is a symbol in the sky. Pride! And I'm proud to be me.
But before we continue, I just need to point this out just real quick, because this is a very important aspect that we need to talk about here. This is the most important thing about this video. How did they get Mimi from the Drew Carey Show to sing this song?
Oh, they brought her back.
Okay,
for
so,
this one.
like,
Really quick though.
Yeah.
Is this person auto-tuned to fuck?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Time that I see that Pride flag waving high.
It sounds like they are having his or her voice. She's harmonizing with herself or some other people at some points, and so it sounds like it might be. It sounds kind of like autotune, but it's not.
Okay.
While I'm playing the video, you can still hear me, right? So just enough that you can understand.
Just enough.
All right, cool. So, there's a few things I wanted to point out here. So this whole video, I don't have a problem with people being okay with themselves. Like I don't like people kink shame all the time. That's not something you should do. Like if somebody wants to do that thing in their own bedroom with somebody else, that's on them. Like I can have an opinion, but it's not my place to tell them they shouldn't or wouldn't want to do that. the thing here is
Right.
this is kind of like indoctrination, and so like
Yeah,
this they don't actually yeah.
It's just I mean, this is a kid's station. Like, why are we talking about sex and gender this young? You know, when
Yeah.
I was this age, we we weren't thinking about this kind of thing. It was like about
What do you
video games and like Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, and like
I'm gonna say when I was like 12 to like 15, I had a huge fascination with the Sears underwear section in the magazine.
yeah, but that's when you're starting to discover that stuff. But like
Yeah.
really young kids, like why are we talking about this right now?
Like it's like in that doc
Young kids.
there was that documentary on HBO Max that I watched and I wanted to talk I think we talked about it on the show. And that was a depressing thing to watch. Like it's
Oh man.
But
Let's continue with this.
so they go through the song and she's explaining the different colors in their meeting in the flag. And so if you saw at the beginning, they talk about the different colors and whatnot. They get to the end of it. And this just kind of made me think, it's like, who the fuck wrote this? Like, is some kid straight out of college and that fucking indoctrinated and woke had to like write this and they didn't think about what they said or what they wrote. But here we go.
White represent transgender people because every
Okay, so let's go back. So it says here, they talk about
white represent
this part of the flag represents transgender people, the red, blue, white, or whatever. And then they go into this section of the song.
people because every letter in LGBTQ plus is equal.
So they just said that these different things in every letter in LGBTQ plus is equal. But now they talk about the brown part of the flag.
And black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color.
So if every letter is equal, why do they need to single out the minority, the people of color in the flag? Why?
Yeah, good question. Good question. And like
Like
another thing is, I mean, obviously straight white people don't belong and they're not equal in their eyes. I mean, that's how it's coming across to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I mean, it is. They talk about all this inclusion and stuff, but they're excluding an entire group. You know, that's not very inclusive.
I'm just gonna say this: if you're straight and white and you have pride, that's a problem, apparently.
I guess so.
But
I guess so.
That's enough of this video. I wanted to
Yeah.
point this next piece out here. This is the Marxist the symbol of the closed fist. The closed fist of a quote-unquote solidarity. And so
it's on a kid's video.
Yeah. Well, hold on. There was a Nickelodeon tweet I saw and let's see here. See if I can find it really quick. There it is. They have a show called Danger Force, and there was a tweet about it where they explain what the thing meant on it. I had it pulled up. I don't care anymore. So you have this this Marxist propaganda piece, this image here, and so I went into looking in. Actually, I'm going to backtrack before we get into this. I just want to say, can we go back to when cartoons were actually raunchy and kind of had hidden humor in them? Because this is hilarious.
Yeah.
So this is a Cow and Chicken, and in this episode, a bunch of lesbian bikers like break into their house and they start munching the carpet.
Oh my god!
No, watch this. Watch. Hold on. They literally had carpet munching lesbian bikers.
Oh, that's good stuff. Oh my god, that is good shit. Oh.
I gotta turn you up a little bit so that I'm not louder than you.
God, that's great. That
All right,
is
so
fantastic.
now that the ADD moment's over, we're gonna go
Yeah.
into the raised fist here. Okay, so the origin of the raised fist as either a symbol or a gesture is unclear. It's used in traditional unionism, anarchism, and in labor movement. In the use of had begun by the 1910s. William Big Bill Haywood, a founding member of the Industrial Workers of the World, used the metaphor of a fist as something greater than the sum of all of its parts during. Okay, so the way it works is the reason that they have the fist facing out is because the fist is made up of many different aspects. So your fingers, one finger can't do anything. Well, maybe this one, but all of them together make a fist, and so they're stronger.
Sure, I get it. It's the
And
same
so-
thing with like the what is it, the Bible analogy? Like lots of twigs all together is like
Well, there's
really-
there's an episode of The Simpsons. How do you know you're going to talk about that? I would have brought up the video. There's an episode where Nelson's bullying people into going to his birthday party, and everybody's like, "We need to stand up to him." And Martin's like, one twig we're weak, but if we all form together, we form a mighty faggot." And it even puts the definition of what a faggot is down there. It's a bundle of sticks
Right.
or a cigarette, and we're probably going to get in some sort of trouble for that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bleep it because I'm using it in context.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it's that same idea of
Exactly.
coming together.
And so here's the other thing. This is the main part I was worried about or concerned about. The use of this is the longest use of the closed fist in history. I think it was like from 1924 to about 1940. So 2 decades at least. The use of the fist as a salute by the communists and anti-fascists is first evidenced in 1924 when it was adopted for the Communist Party of Germany. We're literally showing our children communist propaganda, and I have another article here from Fox News where they interview somebody and they're like, "Well, we're not necessarily communist; we're just anti-capitalist."
Oh man.
What is there a difference?
I don't know. I mean, is there? Or like really?
Probably not.
I don't know. I can't.
No,
I
there
honestly
is.
can't think of anything.
There is a difference, yeah. But let's. I'm done with this thing. The funny part about this is if you look at all of these, all of the references they have here, they have one from 1917, and then we're missing an entire 30 years here.
Yeah.
Between 1917 and 1940, where it was a communist propaganda piece. The people that edit this article are editing stuff from like the 70s and earlier, or closer to our time, and they're leaving out the shit that people need to be worried about.
Which is the Russian communist revolution, right?
Just like communism and socialism in general.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making loud noises. Just
That's
kidding.
all
My
good.
blood is boiling. Glad I don't have children right now because this shit's bullshit. And I'm not gonna let them watch fucking Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
just waiting for the day when homeschooling and private schooling is illegal because
indoctrination.
Their indoctrination.
Yeah. That is why people want school choice vouchers to not be a thing. Is because it gives the power to the person to choose what school their child goes to.
Yep.
So like you have all these people that have extra money to be able to send their kid to like a private like Catholic school. Now like lower income family. Even lower income families can use the money that would be going to the indoctrinating public school and put it into their indoctrinating Catholic school.
Well, and it also it fucks over the poor person that can't afford a private school, so they
but we have all
their kids.
We have all the socialized things that the government provides you that you can have when you're poor. It's okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the choices that you have with that. That's what socialists don't seem to understand. It's like, no, when you are part of that system, you don't get choices.
Mm-hmm.
You take what you're given, and that's it.
Okay.
How do you like that? How do you like those freedoms, idiots?
Freedom!
Jesus.
The BLM clenched fist symbol has little known communist history, critics say. There probably should have been a different letter. If I put a little known than there, because that's just written really bad. It is Fox News. Thank you, Maxim Lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Fox News.
I don't really like using Fox News as a source,
No.
but I literally couldn't find anything anywhere else because nobody wants to talk about it. Which might mean there's something different going on here, but I don't know. Here it is. This is an interview I think with somebody from Morehead State University. It's a symbol used by movements that establish oppressive systems, as every system established along Marxist lines has been. Murray Bessette, a former professor of government at Morehead State University, and now with the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, told Fox News. Communist Victims Foundation. I liked that title. Let's see. The raised fist is primarily used by organizations and movements that are heavily influenced by Marxism, broadly understood. Bessette explained. That sounds really weird.
Yeah, it does sound weird.
Okay. The symbol gathered a negative perception after being used by violent revolutionaries and dictators.
No shit.
Hold on. I've got a thing for that too. There was another like really innocent symbol that was taken over by a certain party of people that we don't use anymore. It's called the swastika.
A certain socialist workers party, perhaps.
The socialist. The funny thing is, in the in the raised fist Wikipedia, it talks about how this group here, the Roter Franken, I can't even do it, Alliance of Red Front Fighters. They were most of the people in that group during World War II and the Nazis' reign in Germany were rounded up and put into the prison camps.
Uh-huh.
So socialism is not the same as communism.
No, it's not.
According to the Nazis.
The Nazis.
The Nazis. You want to kill a Nazi? Okay, the symbol became so frightened with historical association, the murky faction fighting on the left in the Spanish Civil War, the perversion of communism in the Soviet Union, the tyrannies that emerged in post-colonial Africa, The Guardian reported at the time. This is like from 2006. But I got a bunch of other really interesting stuff here. So City Khan, the mayor of London, had it in like a fireworks display with a bunch of drones. But it was for what was it? Sadiq Khan. Did I say City Khan? But it was for in solidarity with BLM. Oh, I didn't want to click on that. Go away. Gross.
Oh man.
And then there's this famous incident that happened here. A bunch of Antifa morons, a bunch of Antifa lemmings. Decided to harass this lady that refused to do the symbol of the closed fist. I'm like, I'm not a fucking idiot, you fucking idiots.
Well, and then the other thing is, you talk about anti-fascism and violence. It's like, here you are, obviously getting in this woman's face. Look, there's a whole crowd of people there.
The fascists are the ones that try to control control language.
You're being fascist right there. Do you not? They don't get it. They don't get that forcing her to do something is fascist.
So the problem
wrong.
The problem here is if she had done it, she'd probably be there with like her hand behind her back with her fingers crossed, like, I don't mean it, God.
Right. Yeah. You like, do you idiots honestly think that getting in her face like that and making her do it makes her think like, oh yeah, okay,
it's a hollow and empty gesture at that point.
Exactly. If you have to use fear and intimidation like this, because this is intimidation.
That's all.
This
that's
is a
all
group
fucking
of violent motherfuckers in this woman's face. If you have to use intimidation, you are wrong.
BLM has decided, at least some of the groups in Portland, because there's several different groups in Portland, have decided to disassociate themselves as much as they can from Antifa. because they're like, we want this
shit.
change, but we're not going to be doing it the way that you guys are fucking doing it because you're a
Yeah.
bunch of idiots.
And they're violent thugs
I had to make sure my
that
window was
have to
closed.
use fear and intimidation. That's the whole thing about getting out in front of people's houses and like chanting all night and vandalizing their property. That's all it is. It's fear and intimidation, which is
It
what
is.
tyrants do.
It is.
Because if your movement was right and just, you would not have to be using tactics like this
Crap, I don't have
to change people's minds. It's pathetic, and it's wrong, and it's bad. Pure and simple.
Yep. All right, I think we're at we're 22 minutes on this topic. Oh my god.
Whatever, it's a fucking important.
Yeah. We'll finish this up here, and then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
Okay, the raised fist icon has been closely tied to race and doesn't have to be specifically a socialist symbol anymore. Kristen Niemetz, a London-based economist and author of the book Socialism, the Failed Idea That Never Dies. That's a good name. I'm going to look into that. Okay, we are not a Marxist organization. While some of the members of UK BLM are Marxist, not all members are. We are, however, all anti-capitalist, the group explained.
Ugh. But capitalism brought you everything. It gave you everything.
I'm going to say the cell phone that they're probably talking to the other person in, the iPhone, was brought to you by capitalism.
And you know what? What's even juicier and more delicious is that phone was made in a communist country by practically slave labor.
Uyghur Muslims are probably putting those together right now.
And they don't care as long as they have their 5G or 4G and their fast phones that can record in 4K, baby.
They
care about.
What is the phrase? It's I don't want to know how the sausage is made. It's a really famous phrase. It's about like this beer, I don't know how it was made, and I do kind of care, but if I'm just sitting here drinking the beer, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got here.
You're not thinking about it.
Yeah,
you're not thinking about it. Yeah.
Or
but it's why don't you go live in that fucking communist country and see how good it is?
There was several articles. I watched a video where a guy was explaining that there was at least three different three different groups of people. That was like 2 people each that were like, we're going to hitchhike across Africa to prove that it's safe and people can have compassion. One of them died within the first week, raped and murdered within the first week. There was another girl that got raped within her time there, and she still wants to go back out and do it again. Not get raped, but try to do the thing.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. It's like, dude, you are so naive. God. Jesus.
No, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
All right.
No. It's too spicy. I'm not saying it. Hold on. I'm just gonna say, primarily, what color skin were the people in those countries?
Right.
Did I say that out loud? Oh, good. Hold on. Let's get a Greta in there for that.
How dare you!
I couldn't even hear it.
No, I know you couldn't, but she said it.
Thanks, Greta. Idiot.
Oh wait, hold on. Bitch.
Yep.
I did the bitch yeah thing. Okay, we're gonna move right along here. I'm gonna make it so you can't hear me very well for a second.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'll restart my computer next time, like right before. Let me put a few things together here. Got to do some notes. This is we're at 20, 26, 30. There we go. Okay, we are going to be doing a thing. I'm going to push a button I haven't pushed in a little while. There it is. Let's talk video games.
Yeah.
And speaking of video games,
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Yeah, show yours first.
I am wearing my. It says Nintendo and katakana or whatever. I don't know what it is. It's in Chinese characters or Japan. I don't know where it's from. I don't care. But it's from
Japanese,
Nintendo.
yeah, kanji,
It's from my
it looks
Nintendo of America New York store when I went there when I was on
Fuck
Judge
yeah.
Jerry.
One sec.
Yeah, go for it. Ah, yeah. Just gonna say that we've got a few things here.
Nintendo 64.
So here we go. We got some stuff here. We've got the E3, the Electronics Entertainment Expo started today. They went live on Twitch at 10 a.m. Pacific? PT? I think it was PT. Yeah, Pacific. So it was 10 a.m. our time. And I actually caught the beginning of the Games Beat session, and that was like really cringe. Like the guy that announced it was, ugh. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see him in a second because we're gonna watch the opening monologue.
Cool.
Okay, so when it comes to E3, I'm really only interested in maybe the Xbox Bethesda showcase and the Nintendo Direct and Nintendo Treehouse Live. Those are really the only two that I haven't really done a whole lot of research into any of this, so those are really the only two. I might watch the PC gaming one.
Mm-hmm.
Square Enix might interest me, but there wasn't really Gearbox. I'll probably go back and watch that today, but I think next weekend I'll watch a few things and give my own like rundown of what happened this week for people next Saturday if they are interested. And you are welcome to do the same. So definitely watch a few of the videos you might be interested in. We can have a conversation about those next week.
Hell yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of expos, I decided to pull out my Make PAX Prime Again hat.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, I'm
so
also in honor of the thing. I'm drinking Level Beer. They're a local company here in Portland. It's the Game On Indian Pale Ale. Just gonna say it's not that great.
Oh.
I'm not really into pale ales anymore, so
yeah.
But here we go.
Really quick, I want to say that, I'm pretty sure they're not going to talk about it, but the only thing I'm really interested in is Metroid Prime 4.
Ooh,
that's it.
Do you know there's people that are speculating stuff that are on the docket for Nintendo, and I wanted to talk about a specific piece of that. Once we I haven't even started this. I'll talk about that now.
Yeah.
So this was really interesting. My cousin pointed this out to me when we were talking. I was talking to him about this a couple days ago. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Doom Guy rumors fanned by copyright strike. So during the Nintendo Live section of E3, there is speculation that they're going to announce the last two Smash Brothers DLC characters. And this guy here, hold on. I actually have to do something different because of what he says here. I'm gonna play a different intro here as well. The tinfoil hat segment. I am not one to wear a tinfoil hat. I also hate Smash speculation. The video I posted was the Doom Eternal TV ad with Lifelight over it. Lifelight is one of the songs from Smash Brothers. Now I've posted this before. I've posted this before and nothing has happened, but it's it got struck down on Twitter. And this was posted like a week ago.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So they had Doom Guy with Smash music over him.
Yes, it wasn't Doom Guy, it was it was a Doom TV ad that they played Smash music over.
Oh man.
But they might have just been hitting it for just the music itself. But let's see, rumors of the Doom series protagonist, Doom Guy's addition to the Super Smash Bros. Roster have been strengthened by a recent copyright strike. There's here it is. Let's see here. The game's 2 fighter passes have added video game icons such as Minecraft Steve, since Doom is, I think, owned by Microsoft. I think ID might be owned by Microsoft, right? Am I right? I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But it is
Yeah, I don't know.
it is a one of the IPs that goes along with PC and Xbox and Microsoft. But then there's Banjo-Kazooie, which is a Rare title. I think Banjo-Kazooie is owned by Microsoft because Rare Microsoft purchased Rare Studios not too long ago, and they own part of the Donkey Kong Country series.
Yeah, so but Banjo was, I mean, it was released on Nintendo systems,
It was,
and he
but
is
I
like
think
a
the IP,
Nintendo character.
I think the IP is owned by Microsoft though.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
Developers Rare, yeah.
Developed by Rare.
So
Yeah.
Rare is owned by Microsoft. Publishers is owned by Microsoft. And you're right in saying that it did have a connection to Nintendo because that's where it was, because Rare had a contract with Nintendo, and when Rare left Nintendo, they got to keep all the IPs. And so you have all of these you have, like, there's the newer, like, Donkey Kong games that have come out, but they're missing a bunch of the Donkey Kong characters that came out under Rare's tutelage of having the game.
But Nintendo must still have something because,
well, Microsoft is not Microsoft. Minecraft is owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
And so they have Minecraft Steve is a playable character in
So
in Smash.
There's some kind of legal thing where they can use the character.
I think it's just a contracted thing. So they have a contract to license the character for the game.
Like maybe they can't make a game specifically a Minecraft game.
No.
They can use the character like Smash.
The other thing is, I have my Switch. It's right here behind me. It's in my backpack, and I have Minecraft on my Switch. So I think because Microsoft owns the company of Mojang, and Mojang is a separate entity from Microsoft. They just own it, and they get to control what the property does. Mojang can put the game out on PlayStation, on Xbox, on phone, on any device imaginable.
Right.
Like, you could probably put it on a potato if you could. They'd probably let you put it on a potato if they could.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I've got for that. unless you want to add something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to take a minute and really appreciate the older consoles, the older games from the 90s. They're so great. They helped inspire the games that are out today. Without them, there would be nothing. Without Nintendo bringing it all back in the 80s, there would be nothing. I love the older console games. I really appreciate them, and they're so much fun. So I just wanted to say that.
If you ever wanted
of the older games,
if you ever wanted to legally play any of the Super Nintendo or Nintendo titles, if you get a Switch, you can get Nintendo Online, and what comes free with that is you get a virtual console for NES and SNES. And they've got a library, I think, of over like 200 games between both consoles, which also includes Zelda Link's Awake. What is it? Zelda Link, The Adventures of Link, and I think it's Link's Awakening. No, it's the one for the Super Nintendo. I can't remember if it's Link's Awakening or Link to the Past.
Hey,
I can't remember.
Can you switch back to the other audio thing?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, I'm about to play a video.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna play this video. Once we get done,
This pisses me off.
Oh, this one? Yeah, this one pisses me off too. Okay. And here we go. Amazon driver attacks 67-year-old woman during delivery dispute. So, I've read this article.
Seen this yet?
I've read this article, and I think I know what happened. But we're going to watch the footage. I can't full screen it because of reasons, but we're going to watch this and see what happens.
Now to a shocking story out of the East Bay. An Amazon delivery driver has been arrested for allegedly assaulting a 67-year-old woman. KRON 4's Maureen Kelly has video of this violent
allegedly. There's video of it.
Well, the thing is, keep themselves out from not being legally liable for slander. You got to say, because it's not been they've been charged, but they haven't been sentenced, and so they got to say allegedly. So it's like, for a fact that guy raped that girl, and you got to say alleged rapist.
Right.
Alleged rapist Joe Biden. Wait, did I say that out loud?
In Castro Valley, where this attack happened. Good afternoon, Maureen.
Good afternoon, Justine. That's right. I'm here in Castro Valley, out in front of the Vista Creek Apartments, where this all went down Tuesday evening.
We're just going to watch the section where she kicks the shit out of her.
The sheriff's office saying this involved a dispute and some salty language. In the surveillance video leading up to the violence, you can see the victim in a verbal confrontation with the Amazon delivery driver, which the Alameda County Sheriff's Office says, during which time the victim said the B word. As she turned back to go inside, the driver sets upon her, striking her repeatedly. The sheriff's office says the suspect hit the older woman an estimated 10 times in the face and head. Here's another angle that shows the attack from inside the building, where you can see how the victim is pushed up against the door as she's struck by the repeated blows. The sheriff's office says the attack left the victim with a possible broken nose and visible injuries. A short time later, 21-year-old Itzel Ramirez.
What kind of name is Itzel is my first question.
It's Mexican. That's what it is. Or possibly Filipino.
Oh shit, I didn't write down a timestamp. Let's go with 37.
Don't worry, it's all good.
Okay, I am going to do a thing. I'm going to give this Actually, yeah, I'm gonna just do it now. I'm gonna give this Amazon driver the biggest piece of shit award. But this story has multiple layers to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read through some of this. The driver, Itzel Ramirez, engaged in a heated verbal exchange with the unnamed victim before unleashing a horrific onslaught of punches to the back of the head and the face of the much older woman. The vicious encounter was caught on video, blah, blah, blah. Ramirez reportedly verbally...
That bad.
Yeah, but when you're 62 and a Karen... Because I'm not going to say she probably didn't deserve it. I'm just saying that this attack was racially charged.
Yes, it was.
Ramirez reportedly verbally berated the victim about her white privilege. White privilege. Before the attack, according to KTVU Fox 2. Police say that the victim may have called the suspect a bitch. Hold on.
Bitch.
Yep. Before the exchange turns to fisticuffs. So, from some, I don't know if it's mentioned in here somewhere, but what happened was, from what I read in the article, I think it's in this article. I'm not going to try to read through it to find it, but this is my theory about what happened, because I have a little bit of experience with this. Not the racially charged attacks, just the Amazon delivery.
Right.
But what I think happened was the Karen, which with the older woman, got an alert on her phone that her package was delivered. And I'm going to assume this is what I think happened. This driver did a thing that I've done before, is that she probably had a bunch of, because she has one of the totes there, you can see it in the picture here, she has one of the totes here that holds the packages. That's where the Amazon driver gets the packages in the morning and loads them into their van. So this has got to be like an apartment building where you have to have an access point. And so what I'm thinking happened here was she combined all of those stops and then marked them all delivered to like a mailroom, and hadn't delivered them yet because she was getting to that point trying to get into the room. And so Karen McCarran face comes down. It's like, where's my package? It hasn't been delivered yet. And then with the way that she brutally attacked this person, she was probably already fed up to begin with. First off, she works for Amazon. It's in California. And this person has been indoctrinated by critical race theory to think that anytime somebody's being horrible to them and they're of a white complexion, it has to be their white privilege.
Yep.
So this attack was racially based because she attacked Karen McCarran face because of her white privilege, and she was mad at her white privilege. We need to fucking stop CRT! Sorry.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna call this a hate crime attack.
No, she
No,
if
they
we
won't.
if you listen to the rest of the thing, she was charged with elderly abuse and assault.
But no hate crime, huh?
No hate crime.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Even though she literally said your white privilege, which is a racist term.
Well, it's not, because CRT is taught in schools, and so it's commonplace.
Yeah, you can't be racist towards white people, even if you beat them up.
That is the most bullshit statement I've ever heard. I actually had somebody talk to me at a bar, and they're like, "Oh, race is power plus privilege." I'm like, what about all the white people getting killed in fucking South Africa because their farms being taken away from them, and now nobody has any fucking fruits and vegetables because the people that were given the farms don't know how to fucking do it? Where was their white privilege then?
Yep. Oh, but they don't care about that because that's not in America.
My blood is boiling. I fucking hate this shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's let's continue on here. Onward to the next segment. I'm gonna push a button for it.
Okay.
Bitch.
Oh, yep.
Bitches make me sick. There we go.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, this is this is a good one here. So,
I think I actually think I may have run into this. I was looking through Pussy Pass Denied.
Yep, this is where I got it.
I think I found it on there. I read through this one already.
Yep, this is when I got it. So
that is an underrated subreddit.
Yeah, this woman has been arrested on 219 warrants.
What?
How are you not in jail with 219 warrants in criminal sexual conduct investigation?
Wait, is it 219 sexual misconduct warrants?
Yes.
Or charges?
Yes. Let's
What?
read down. Let's go down. Yes.
Hold on. If this was white guy Joe Schmo, this guy would be in jail or in prison already.
He'd be dead.
He'd be at least raped by another guy in prison.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced Oconee. County Sheriff's Office said after a criminal sexual conduct investigation, they have arrested a woman on 219 separate counts. 219 separate counts involving one minor victim.
Oh,
one
that's
minor.
The problem.
One minor.
Wow.
Is there more minors? I don't know.
Are you sure this person? Are you sure this person isn't just a map?
What's that again?
Minor attracted person. Apparently, it falls under the LGBT mantra.
Oh boy. Anyway, according to the sheriff's office, 37-year-old Janice Allen was booked in the Oconee County Detention Center today after turning herself in. Well, at least she did that at the law enforcement center at Walhalla on Tuesday afternoon. Deputies said Allen has been charged with 17 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor. 17 counts. Second degree. And 202 counts of disseminating harmful material to a minor. So she was probably sending her nude pics to minors.
No, that's
Okay.
no disseminating. I think that's there's a different term for you sending pictures to them.
Well, but
you
it
might
says
be
to
right.
a minor.
Yeah, but they might have been. Yeah, you whatever. You're probably right. I think there's a different term for it though, for them sending pictures of themselves to the minor.
Okay, maybe she was like sending links to porno videos or something.
That
She's like, I
might.
want to do this to you.
We're gonna do this one and this one and this one.
In this position and this thing. Okay, so the office said they began an investigation on May 19th after a school resource officer received information of reports of sexual offenses.
So
this case was later turned over to the Criminal Investigations Division. What's up?
I may have missed this. What kind of like this person doesn't work in a school, do they?
I don't believe so.
All right, but because resource officers have to turn that stuff in.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, of course. So it happened a little like almost a year and a half. This stuff was happening.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're gonna continue to investigate, and she's on a $500,000 bond.
Is she out on that, or is she still in jail? When was this from?
The sheriff's go down. The
25th. That's from last month.
Go down. The sheriff's office also mentions that Alan remains in custody. Nope, she is in jail on a combined. Right down there a little bit. One down. The sheriff up.
No, I see it. I'm looking for something else.
It's a short article.
I was trying to figure out when the arraignment or the trial was going to be.
Yeah, they don't have that information.
We could pull her up on their website and actually see when the thing is.
Yeah, that's all right. We're at 45 minutes, so
that's too much work. I've got one thing I want to end with.
Okay. Well, but really quick, this is why. Can we just say that women are just as much sexual predators as men, if not more? Can we just say that? I just said it. I said it.
I'm gonna say as an egalitarian person that believes everybody should be weighted by who they are and not what makes them, not what is in their pants or anything else, or the color of their skin.
Yep.
Everybody needs to be treated differently only because everybody is a different person. My identity is not a white person. My identity is Ike. That's who I am. And if you want to judge me because I'm white, that's your fucking problem and not mine. That's what CRT is doing to people. And not the type of monitor. I'm talking about critical race theory. You okay?
Went down the wrong tube.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Let's put that back up. I'm going to set something up here real quick, and then we'll call it a night. Where did that go? Voice meter. There we go. Okay, let's get this up. You back? Okay, say something so I can hear you.
Something.
All right, cool. So when I was in high school, and like not elementary school, middle school to high school, through most of high school, every Sunday, I kind of want to just end on a high note. Every Sunday, my dad would come home from doing work, whatever work he was doing, and we would spend time together. And so we watched Malcolm in the Middle, which I fucking love that show. And then once Malcolm in the Middle ended, the Red Green Show came on. Have you ever heard of the Red Green Show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Every single episode of the Red Green Show is on YouTube. And for those who don't know the Red Green Show, I'm going to play a clip. This is a funny clip. I think you'll like it. Tell me if you can hear it.
You ever notice how winding your window down by hand makes you look lower middle class? There's a cheap way to fix that. First of all, what you want to do is get the window winder right off there. Throw that away. Next, get yourself one of these battery-powered mixers, hand mixers in this here. You ever notice some of these how the blades go in opposite directions? Remember that. I'm going to be referring back to that later on. These are real cheap, especially if the blades are missing. Okay, now to wind the window up, all I do is stick one of these blade receptacles over the window winder shaft and then just hit the button. How do I wind it down? Well, the pushing direction thing comes in that I was referring to earlier. I just pop that on.
Hell yeah, Red.
So I'm going to put this back here. So one of the things that I decided that I wanted to start doing for the podcast is I want to end with something funny. So if you can find something
Yeah.
funny to throw on, because I'd like to just not end where I'm just pissed off, which fucking happens all the time, but I'd like to end with something like that. Also, so you've seen the Red Green Show. I just got one of these. If you can't see it, it's a Possum Lodge patch.
Nice.
You can buy them.
Nice.
You can get them on their website, like redgreen.com. I bought some. I bought one each for my brothers and my dad for Father's Day.
Awesome.
Okay.
Good stuff. That was good stuff, man.
This episode wasn't as good as the rest. Usually they get better and better. Content-wise, yes, but technology-wise, no. But I know what the problem is, and we're gonna fix it for next time.
We're professionals. Professionals here.
Professionals. In honor of Red Green, the duct tape was extra thick.
Hey.
Let's do it one more time before we go.
Man. Okay. Which way am I? Oh, this way? Okay.
You're
No,
going the wrong
other way.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Do you have anything you want to end with before we go into the all the weird stuff that we do?
Nope. Just as always, you know, twirl your Tweety, baby. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that thumbs down button twice, and then click the thumbs up button, please. We appreciate that.
I do have a request, and I've had several people like message me directly, and they're like, you got this wrong. Here's the actual thing. If I or Scott, if we say something that's factually incorrect, post it in the comments. We'll address it. We'll address it next episode. We'll be like, oh well, they said this was factually inaccurate. A thing that we said that we can verify that it was factually inaccurate. I'd like to know.
Yeah, we need. It's good to get that engagement.
We are not just an opinion show. We talk about like mainstream news stuff, and we don't want to say things that are inaccurate.
Yeah. Yep.
Plus, we're always learning and getting better, just like all of you. Everybody is always learning something new.
Hell yeah. Amen to that. Cool.
Cheers.
Well, on that positive note, hit the button, Ike.
I got it. Bye.
Later.